Let's discuss 4 types of grading with pros and cons of each. My name is Olesya. I teach full coverage designs, samplers, and small designs for more than 20 years. And for each type of design, different grid options seems to be more applicable. And by the way, link to all patterns I will leave in comments below. So let's start from erasable pens. I have 5 different types of them at the moment. 3 from AliExpress, this type from a local store, it's paper made, and 1 from Amazon. For this one I will leave a link in the comments below. Some of them are very old and lost color over time in the tube, but still usable. Some of them are lighter, some darker and easier to see, but in general they work the same way. So if you don't have exactly same ones, I would suggest to check in your local store erasable pens for students. Just don't forget to test them before applying on your canvas. But make sure it is a pen, but not markers. From what I know, markers might appear back after some time and leave yellow lines on your project, which is not good. And all these pens work the same way, disappear on a heat. It might be hot water, ironing, hairdryer, whatever you can find at your home. And when you remove this grid, make sure to give at least couple minutes under heat to completely disintegrate for the ink. I had an experience when it came back, but I removed iron right when it disappeared. And pros and cons of this type of grading. Pros of this type: easy and fast to apply. And cons: there is always a risk of them to stay and spoil all the work you've done. So let's have a look on how it works on practice. Usually I use blue one for 10 by 10 grid, red one for 5 by 5, and purple one for the overall area I stitch. We will have 3 pieces of fabric for hot water, fast ironing and long ironing. So first option was with hot water, it's completely disappeared. Second one, fast ironing, so almost all of them came back. And this one, long ironing, so it just extra minute and it big difference. And to make sure that it works, you can put a piece of testing fabric to a fridge to check how it behaves, if it gets cold back, and if after the cold it appears again. And probably do ironing one more time. Second grading type I use is watercolor pencils. These pencils are cheapest one which I was able to find, and it's usually doesn't matter which brand you use. They disappear after washing. What I noticed that the same pencils might be easier to wash out, and sometimes for the same pencil a hard washing is needed. But as far as they were washed out, there's no risk for them to appear back. Pros of this type of grading: the same as previous ones, easy and fast to apply. Cons: you need to sharpen your pencil very often and there is a risk you will not be able to wash it out. I don't use this type of grading as often. So let's check if I can remove them and how much time it will take. And just one note to this grid option: I don't know if it will be easier to remove this pencil if I iron before washing. So keep it in mind, do not iron it before washing it. But actually let's check it, at least with my pencils. First First one would be for ironing before, and second one will be for just washing. So let's check the results. This one was after ironing, and I still see a little bit of red line here, and I definitely had to wash it a little bit longer, but probably it's not because of ironing. But I still would not do it for such type of grading. This one was without ironing. I would say that slightly I see red lines a little bit, but it's so light, so it's even difficult to see it on a good light. So probably this type of grading can be used as well. Sometimes I use pencils for small designs. Next one is monofilament. They also call it fishing line. It should be super thin one. Mine, this one, is 0.1 millimeter wide. I don't know where you can buy it, so I bought another one from Amazon that my friend recommended to me. It is Silky Sliver. They have different colors. I took red one. I will leave all links that I have in description and in comments below this video. So let's have a look on it on a project. Usually I apply this one for 10 by 10 cells, just for this area that I have visible in the frame. So it does not take too much time to apply. Pros of this type, it is 100% safe. You will remove it after the use, and that's it. Cons, it takes time to apply, and for me, if I add it in rows, it might be not look neat, like this one and here. But if you go there and back and leave the ends on the back and do not remove right after you stitch it the area, it should be fine. And I use this grid only for these projects that I am going to give to someone else, so there is no even minimal risk for it to appear back. Pens are much more convenient to use, but still a slight risk is present that they can come back. And one note for this type of grid: try not to stitch too much over it, so it will be easier to catch an end of a floss and pull it out, but in general it's easy to remove. So on this project I have a good area stitched with it. We can remove it together and see how it goes. Both of them were pretty much easy to remove, and I don't see any lines on this area where they were, and after ironing it should be fine, and after washing the whole project when it's finished. And I checked the same on design with 10 stitch, and even this one, which is slightly flat floss, even if I stitch it over it all over the project, there's still no visible difference if I applied this grid or not. Last type of gridding I use is an owl. I bought this one from AliExpress. Pros of it, it is 100% safe. No risk whatsoever to appear back or stuck in the project. Cons, you will need to count very carefully. It is super easy to make a mistake and redo all the stitching you done with it. And you can't apply this grid on a big area once per project, as fast it disappears even on moving the hoops or scrolling a frame. So what I usually do, I make dots for 10 by 10 and 5 by 5 cells. And sometimes I add this one for monofilament grid, like here, just for 5 by 5, so it's much faster to find the right cell to stitch if I have 5 by 5 marked as well. When I stitch over them, widening goes away and it is not noticeable on the stitched area. Here, on this area, I stitched with this type of grading, and we don't see any big holes or any uneven cross stitches. That's all the grid I use. And remember, it works for me, but always test all the pens you buy before apply on real canvas, so you know if it works for you as well. And I have lots of how-to videos in my stitching tips playlist that can be useful for you. I will leave a link to it in the comments below, and I tend to add new videos to it.